in lesson 10.4, we're going to solve radical equations. Sailing, so Idris and Sebastian are sailing in a friend's sailboat. They measure the hull speed at 9 nautical miles per hour. Find the length of the sailboat's water line, round to the nearest foot. In your book on page 642, at the very top, it has a then, a now, and a why. There is a part in there that says, the waterline length of a sailboat is the length of the line made by the water's edge when the boat is full. A sailboat's hull speed is the fastest speed that it can travel. You can estimate the hull speed, h, by using the following formula. So the following formula is on page 642 at the top of the page under the y, and the equation that we are going to use is h equals 1.34 square root of L. So, find the length of the sailboat's waterline, which is obviously L, and h is going to be the hull speed at 9 nautical miles per hour. So, if we want to solve this then, we're going to substitute 9 in for h, 1.34 root L. Remember I said side by side, we've been doing this before, so we want to undo this by dividing by 1.34. So 9 divided by 1.34, and we get about 6.72, and that's equal to the square root of L. Now, how do we undo a square? So to get rid of that square root, we actually square it. So, or multiply, it's like by multiplying by the square root of L, but we want to square it. We don't want to multiply this by the square root of L because it's not getting rid of that square root. So we want to square both sides. And then 6.72 squared is going to give us about 45.16. So 45.16 is about L. And please do not forget to label. So this should be 45 points to the nearest, round to the nearest foot. So L is about 45 feet. I'm going to round up, make sure we follow directions, round, nearest foot. So that would be 45. And then we can just do a quick check here. So a quick check would say, okay, 9 equals 1.34 root L. We just said L was about 45. So 9 equals 1.34 root 45. And 9, if I substitute that in and I multiply 1.34, so you can do this on your calculator, double check my work, 1.34 times the square root of 45, and I get 8.98, so roughly 8.988999327. So obviously it's very close to 9, so we did really good there. It's not going to be exact because we said it's approximate, so we rounded, so it's not going to be exact. All right, so solve the square root of k plus 1 equals k minus 1. So the square root of k plus 1 equals k minus 1. We want to solve for k. We'll notice that k is on opposite sides and one of the k's is under a root. We have to get rid of that radical. How do we get rid of the radicals? We square. We square. So because we square, the square root and the square cancel each other out, giving us k plus 1 on this side. Now, I have k minus 1 squared. Guys, again, this does not mean distribute that 2. This means k minus 1 times k minus 1. So you need to either use the FOIL method, the distributive property, box method, whatever you choose to use. So then I get k plus 1 equals, and then if you use the FOIL method, the first, so that's going to be k squared, the outside, which then is negative k, the inside, negative k, and then the outside, I reminded the last ones, and I get plus 1. So then I have k plus 1 equals k squared. Combine my like terms. So combine those two, and I get negative 2k plus 1. Now, this should look familiar. We just did this in the very last chapter. So let's go ahead and get everything on one side. K squared, this is already positive right here, so let's let it alone. Let's move the K and the 1 over. So we're going to subtract K. I get 1 equals K squared minus 3K, because there's a 1 there, plus 1. And then I'm going to subtract 1. And then I get 0 equals K squared minus 3K. Well, this is pretty easy then to solve because we can keep going. And then what I notice is I can factor out 0 equals factor out a K. And then I'm left with K minus 3. Now remember, we're multiplying. So factor K is equal to, factor K is either equal to 0, which K is equal to 0, or K minus 3 is equal to 0, or it's both true. And then add 3, and I get K equals 3. So I have two possible answers here. K equals 0, and K equals 3. So then what I have to do is I have to check my answers. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we got two answers. You are not done yet. Please do not stop there and say you're done. We got to check this. So we go back to that original equation, okay, which was, so we're going to check this now. So this is the check. So we go back to this original equation, the square root of K plus 1 equals K minus 1. And let's check our answers. So we'll substitute in 0 first. The square root of 0 plus 1 should equal 0 minus 1. The square root of 1 should equal negative 1. The square root of 1 is 1 equals negative 1. This is false. So K equal to 0 is not going to work. Wah, wah, wah. Doesn't work, okay? Let's try, we get 3. So the square root of K plus 1 equals K minus 1. So the square root of 3 plus 1 equals 3 minus 1. The square root of 4 should equal 2. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 equals 2. This is a true statement. So ding, ding, ding. This is our answer. K equals 3 would be our final answer. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of work, but you need to do it. So solve and check. You have to check both answers. They won't always both work. Next one. Okay. When I see this, again, a lot of students will want to go and start squaring things. You don't want to square this yet because you have this plus 7 here. That plus 7 must be gone. Remember, it's just like we can only have the square root, nothing else equal to some type of number. But we can't have anything else along with the square root other than what's underneath the radical. So it's just the radical, nothing else. We got to get rid of this 7 by subtracting. So the square root of a plus 5 is equal to 5. Now because I am left with nothing but the square root on this side, I can go ahead and square. I can go ahead and square. So now the square root and the square cancel each other out. They undo each other. It's like the opposite operation. And I'm left with a plus 5 equals 25. Then I subtract 5, and I get a equals 20. So there is only one answer here for that one. But still check it because sometimes you just got to be careful. So the square root of a plus 5 plus 7 equals 12. I always go back to the original. This is the original problem. And then the square root of 20 plus 5 plus 7 should equal 12. The square root of 25 plus 7 should equal 12. The square root of 25 is 5 plus 7 should equal 12. Remember, this I keep writing because I don't know if it equals or not. I got to prove it. 5 plus 7 is 12. That, in fact, does equal 12. This is a true statement. So, therefore, my final answer for that one is A equals 12.